Hey everyone, I'm Robbins, technology marketing toolkit.com. And that is my real name. That is always a question I get. It's not a married name. And, we do marketing for IT companies, the very specific niche in IT. It's a very big niche. Those, individuals are called managed service providers, VARs, system integrators. And, I never owned one of those companies, but I am the 800-pound gorilla by far in that niche for marketing and sales strategies to them. We have more documented client success stories than anybody else in the same niche. That's really our USP. I've been doing it for about 10 years now. And it's been great. Our clients get phenomenal results. We've got incredible retention rates. I think, which is a testimony to the results they get. For example, our high-end coaching program, we have a 92% stick rate first year, and 3 years and beyond that is 75%. So that's strong as far as from what I understand. And actually, some of the things we figured out recently, I think it's going to get better. I mean, that was like before. That's going back 5-6 years, 75% beyond that. So. How did I first discover Dan? Well, I was actually, Dr. Phil has a sort of a little talk he does. And I went and saw Dr. Phil. He came to Nashville, where I'm based, before he got on the big Oprah tour. And his content was actually really good. He wasn't he was more of a, I don't know, he's not as like hypey as he is today, and he's like all drama and stuff, but back he really had some good content. And one of the things Dr. Phil said, he said that if you analyze your life, he said, you'll see that there's 10 defining moments, there's 7 critical decisions, and there's 5 pivotal people. And if you look at where you are today, whether it's 9 defining moments and 8 critical, and it's a really interesting exercise. You should do it. You can really kind of see where you are because of the 10 defining moments, 7 critical decisions, and 5 pivotal people. So I did that exercise, and I thought about, who really has directed my life to where we are today. And, I, like many of you, I was on the, Peter Lowe tour, and, I went to when it came to Nashville. And that was really, I think, one of the defining moments, and one of the pivotal people I met there was Phil Town. It was actually not Dan Kennedy. No, I'm just teasing.
That's fine. It doesn't
there's a grain of truth.
All roads eventually.
Right. No, yeah. There's a grain of truth to that, because you were on at the end of the day. But Phil Town pitched before you did, and so at the time I was working for a traditional marketing agency. It was the second agency I worked for, so I was in marketing. I was selling for the agency, and what was really interesting is marketing agencies. The way they market themselves is they get salespeople who schmooze the heck out of their clients. They try to hire attractive young women, which I guess was somewhat nice for me, kind of a compliment to me. But that's how they get clients. They don't use direct marketing to get clients, which was it just was incongruent. So I go there, and I've been in sales, and I saw Phil Town pitch, and I saw the room just stand up and go out to buy, and I was like, holy crap. How do I do that? So that was like the first kind of like, I'd never seen anything like that before.
That was my reaction the first time I saw Zig when I was in short pants. It was like, holy.
I'm sitting there like trying to count the numbers and the people flooding out, and I'm sitting there going, I cannot believe what I'm seeing here, and that was it. And then actually I left. I was one of those people that stood up and left. I teach aerobics, and I had a class to teach that night, but I read the materials that you had in the book or whatever he handed out, and I bought magnetic marketing off of that and studied it. And
now, she's an even better buyer than because
yeah.
That's a little bit.
Yeah, but I saw it and I said because I was I was in the agency business, and I studied all the sales trainers at the time, the Ziggs and the Tommy Hopkins, and listening to the tapes 24/7. So I was really hungry for it, but the marketing was what the piece that Dan gave me, and coming from a traditional marketing background, it was radical. And actually, I believe it's one of the reasons I ended up getting fired from the agency, because I was constantly on the boss about why are we telling, what is our USP? What is, what do I say to client? It was like all this thing. So anyway, that's how I got started. So I got fired from the last agency I worked in, and started greatness was thrust upon me, and I had to figure this thing out. So I started doing marketing consulting, and kind of fell into the IT niche. It's not, like I said, I've never owned an IT company, but I've done a lot of marketing for IT firms in the agencies I was with, and has grown it. So we have 5,000 customers who've bought our program. We've been doing it for about 10 years. really strong retention rates, really strong profit margins. I really do have the dream business. I mean, I work from home. I've got staff, but I have a home office. I go into the office once a week. We own the building. It's just like they sit all there. Great staff. I wouldn't trade one of them. They're phenomenal. I love my clients that we work with. And it's, largely due to Dan. He really, I'm making a joke about the Phil Town thing, but, if you really do look at your life, I think one of the defining moments was, one of the pivotal people was Dan, and the decisions was not just buying magnetic marketing, but studying it and implementing it, because I think that's the key where it makes the difference for everybody is us in the room actually were stupid enough or whatever to sit there and say, well, maybe this actually could work. And I remember starting it 10 years ago, we used to use fax back forms, and to me, the fax was like a dinner bell, when the fax I was like, I had the fax machine sitting by my desk, and man, when that would be an order coming in, and it was, it's kind of funny when you think back to that. And anyway, so that's been tremendous for me. And
for the record, they still make those things.
Yeah,
you can go to Office Depot and and it's still.
And in some niches, you still need to use them too. Now in the IT industry,
no.
We actually still include them because it summarizes the order, but they're not used. But anyway, so the point being is, that it really has transformed my life from the standpoint of the autonomy and the income and just the ability to affect others, which is really important to me because I think for me, the money is really important, but I have to feel as though I'm making a difference to people, and I really, truly am, and my staff is as well. So that's how we found you, and that's where we are today.
For everybody listening, one of the commonalities you've heard, I don't know how many people now, and in your case, originally, of course, for real estate, it wasn't me. It was whoever seminar you went to when you were a dead broke car mechanic, which you may or may not want to give them applaudit, but it has for a lot of people, sort of the point of discovery has been buying a ticket, getting in a car or an airplane and going to a seminar somewhere, and it marks. So everybody in this room has long been and still is what I call a active searcher. They are just always trying to find something useful and are willing to go to some relative extreme lengths, probably schlepping from Russia here is consistently is one of those extreme lengths in order to get even a gem or two and stitch them together to get results. And the vast majority of the people, of course, are not willing to do that. It's a key point of differentiation.